Hi, Karen Deis here with the rule and regulation changes over the last 30 days, brought to you by Mortgage Currency. Hey, let's start with the Veterans Administration. Now, we haven't heard much from them in the last, 6 months or so, but there have been a few updates within the last 30 days. So let's all start with the changes for the VA funding fee. Okay, so here's what happened. In a nutshell, it's a game of political football, and it all started with the Restoring the GI Bill Fairness Act, which lowered the fees as of October 1st. But then on October 5th, let me get this correct, the Veterans Health Facility and Capital Improvement Act increased them again as of effective October 6th until November 18th. So let's say that you had a GFE that you issued on October 1st with the lower funding fee. You're going to close after October 6th. You can close with that lower funding fee. Now, while it may be a file or two in process that you have going on this, be sure to check your GFE to make sure it complies. And oh, by the way, VA said, what's going to happen after November 18th? Watch our website and we'll let you know. So there's another update from VA that they're jumping on the Uniform Appraisal Dataset bandwagon. And you know what? It was really bound to happen. So while appraisers can start using it right now, it becomes effective. They have to do it on January 1st. And also, on the appraisals, you won't see the words any approved lender or any qualified veteran show up on the appraisals anymore. It must contain the name of the veteran, and it must contain the mortgage company name and address. And a couple of updates about the certificate of eligibility. After September 1st, if you order a certificate of eligibility, there's going to be a new field on there called funding fee. And there are 3 categories that are going to show up. It's going to show exempt, non-exempt, and contact RLC, which means they really don't know what the status is. So you'll see further conditions on that funding fee that'll explain the borrower's and veteran's status, how much they qualify for. Is it full funding fee? Is it partial funding fee? And it'll show that the veteran, if it is exempt, you don't have to go any further. You can rely on that certificate of eligibility and not charge the veteran a funding fee. Now, this other one's not a big deal, but VA changed their location to order certificates of eligibility to one location in Atlanta. Okay, here's an FHA update, but this one's more for company owners and branch managers because FHA has revised their approved lender requirements. So a couple of the highlights are, if the company is approved by one regional HUD office, you can now lend in all 50 states. That's provided that you're licensed state by state. Now, branch office and home office facilities must comply now with state licensing requirements, and HUD's not going to monitor that anymore. However, they reserve the right to match 34. So if you're a manager or a company owner, I suggest you read these because it became effective on September 23rd. Now, in regards to Freddie, they want to get into rural housing. Now, there was no official bulletin about it, but it did show up on their website under the News Center section. What they're basically saying is that, hey, they'll lend on rural properties as long as it's not farming or income producing. Some lenders will have a amount of acreage that you can lend upon. Freddie says, nope, we don't have any. It's unlimited acreage. But their bottom line is that the appraisal says that the property is marketable. So, hey, check out Freddie, check out your investors if you have some rural properties. And one more update from Fannie. If you are working with a borrower who has rental income or buying rental property and they can qualify without the rental income, Fannie says, hey, you don't have to fill out the form 10007, and a little verification might be required, but here's the 4 things that they said would qualify. The appraiser's opinion of the market value of rent, the signed lease agreement. Okay, this is kind of weird. The borrower's statement of the dollar amount of rent received, or just stating it on the 1003. Now check your lender's overlays on this one, but Fannie is saying if they qualify with the mortgage payment, we really don't care. So there's some Facebook posts on this issue for your real estate agents. Check them out. There's a couple charts and checklists, because if you know the rules, you'll rule the market. So thanks for listening to this October edition of Mortgage Currency.